All right, greetings YouTube. This is Brandon Hill here with Terrence Paxis, and together we are the creators of Wild Space Saga, the epic sci-fi action adventure series you didn't know you needed. And this is a Wild Space Wildcast made specifically to tell everyone why you need it as well. And as we've been around for a hot minute, to in relative silence on DeviantArt, what you've been missing. But before we begin, please take a moment to subscribe and hit that beautiful notification bell so that you won't miss a single bit of news, events, and live streams from our channel. Whether you catch us live or are watching after the fact, we want you to just join us on the Northwest Passage. And finally, if we piqued your interest, links to our books available on paperback and ebook, as well as everywhere else you can find us on the social medias, are available down in the doobly-doo. And yeah.
Did you see the speed we got through
What?
that? You. Oh, God, we're late. Whiz it out. Whiz it out. Panic mode. It's because he overslept.
I set my alarm, and I set my alarm for like 2 hours prior, and I woke up, so it was about 1 o'clock or something like that. Or it was almost 2 o'clock. I was like, well, I can sleep for just about like half an hour more. So I decided to kind of get a little bit more shut eye. I woke up and I was like, oh, something's wrong. And then I look at my clock and it's 2:56. I'm like, oh, God.
There's also a message from me saying, 4 minutes to Bellis. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that after that. I was looking at my tablet device, and then
I tend to use when worlds collide as a reference when he needs to hurry.
Yep, and definitely tomorrow is Easter for both of us. But yeah, what happened? Like I said, I don't think I got dressed so fast in my life. And then went, brushed my teeth and got my hair straightened up, and then just jumped in.
I just look like I've been at sea for 6 weeks, and
Oh Lord,
made no effort whatsoever. No.
Before we begin, let me go ahead and see if we can add a little bit of music into this affair.
That's how you know he overslept. He didn't even have a song ready.
Oh, man. I wanted, I was like, okay, I want to wake up, have 30 minutes and get some music set up.
I just find it all very hilarious. I get to tease him live on YouTube. Oh, and I very much enjoy it, as you can tell.
Yeah, you would. Let me see here. I think this is the one that I liked. Wait. Oh crap. Which one did I say sounded? Which theme did I say sounded like Cell Dweller?
It was Biolante's theme, actually.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, that's a bit too harsh. I'm gonna go to the next one here. And whoops, nope. Just want to download it.
The Garden of Quiet Things. Let's see what he picks.
Here we are. Okay, and so we're gonna
That is the plan, Finn. Yeah.
Yes, he is, and I'm gonna add this to our StreamYard. Give me just a second.
Whether it goes to plan, that's a whole other matter, but that is the plan.
Yeah.
Cables. I need some wireless headphones.
Oh, good grief. Yeah, because I just was like, man, that just upset me so bad. Okay, here we are. We are bringing in some music. Let me turn this volume down a touch.
I missed what upset you.
I don't know why it's taking so long. Here we are. Okay. Go ahead and do that.
Okay.
All right. We should have some music in the background. Just let me know if it's a little too loud, my dude.
Oh, I will do.
All right. So now we can officially get started up on all this. And so you said, will there be streams at 4 p.m. Eastern every week? No, not 4 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, every week from here on out, every Saturday, and it's gonna be 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. For Terry, it's 9 p.m. At GMT, and for our friends across the pond.
It'll be BST now because we've now moved forward now into British summertime.
For British summertime.
Yeah. Now that we've moved forward now to British summertime, so it's BST. Before it was GMT. GMT is always the one through the winter. Oh, you've gone with Kumonga, and it's very loud.
Oh, it is loud for you. See, I don't.
Yeah, I've got headphones
on my end. Maybe it's because you're wearing headphones.
Yeah, but it means I can barely hear you, which is why you have to turn it down a lot.
Yeah, okay, hang on. Oh, all right.
Us technical, professional live streamers here, dealing with all the technical things midstream. It's brilliant.
Okay, well, how's that?
Yeah, that's better.
All right.
I will say what actually Brand is playing is a little bit. It gives you a little bit of a preview. Obviously, if you've seen any of my posts, if you're on the Instagram, there's the one I put up called White Akira, which is a set of characters from the upcoming book. I've got a whole music project I've done with them, so that'll be getting posted over the next week.
Yeah, I hate daylight savings time. Well, yeah, the only time I like daylight savings time is when it's the winter time, because you gain an hour of sleep. But unless if I'm at work that day, they do the time change. That means we have an extra hour of work, which means a little more pay, but you have an extra hour to work.
Yeah, but you don't even notice. Let's be honest. You just go, "Oh, it's 2:00 now. It was 1:00 a minute ago."
Yeah. Well, everybody. So, just another reminder, everyone, that we have our books available. We have our books available down in the doobly-doo, and we still, what is the situation is, we have the new versions of books 1 and 2 available on ebook, and we still are waiting for the new versions of the books to be available in paperback and hardcover. And really, that's going to be coming down the road to be announced. But our third book, Twisted Faith, will be available in May, and I do believe that I'm going to have something special planned for that day. We're going to have a little book release. Have a little book release thing. I don't know if Terry's going to be there or me or both of us, but definitely going to have something special. We'll be featuring something for all of you guys. And I'm working on something in the background. I actually kind of got started on it last night. I forgot to tell you that, dude. That thing that we had talked about for the review. I actually got started on it, but I was telling you about everything else that I was doing because that one thing that I was that I stumbled on, that was kind of weighing on my head, because I was like, I drew this thing and I was like, and I'm sorry guys that we're kind of being a bit vague about it, because this involves things that happen much further down the road. It involves a thing that I drew involving something that happens to a particular character, and something that I kind of thought about for just a moment, and then my mind, as it tends to do, went on a bunny trail, and I just drew this whole elaborate setup, and I was like, okay, this actually might work, but I wonder what Terry thinks about it. And Terry has yet to tell me what he really thinks about it.
Thinks about what?
That thing I told you about.
Yeah.
Earlier today, before I went to bed. But they said you never commented.
What, the thing I said was a good idea?
I didn't see that you said it was a good idea, but okay. If you said it, then... So,
are you talking about the thing you're working on?
Yeah, that one little thing that I put together. Just that thing.
Yeah, you discussed that with them.
Yeah, but I asked you, but I said, well, what did you think? But you still never answered.
Yeah, I did. I know I did. You just don't pay enough attention.
Okay. Well, anyway, instead of us being all vague like that, let's see.
You just want to announce it because, I'll finish here and be like, what the hell are they on about?
I'm not going to announce that because I don't want to give that much away. I will say it does involve something that we do discuss in the third book, and that's something called Seekers. Now, I will tell you what Seekers are. Seekers are what?
Say posting king. Oh, are you talking about what you sent me yesterday?
Today, you mean? Well,
today, whatever. Yes, I did answer you. You know I answered you on that.
I didn't see it, but okay, I'll go back and look after the fact. Anyway, it made me lose my train of thought. Okay, so it involves what are called Seekers, and now for those, I did show that picture of that four-legged creature. They're called Vlissians. Vlissians. Ooh, my tongue just woke up. And what they are there are two alien races that the human race has encountered in this part of the galaxy. They do encounter others, um, some that have been irrevocably transformed, and another race that comes much later down the road. There's very few of them left. Um, but anyway, the Vlissians are the only other race that humans thus far have encountered outside of the Thelians, and they look quite different from the Thelians. They have sort of like, you ever seen the movie Coneheads? They have a sort of cone-shaped head, but not that tall. And they actually, unlike Coneheads, have hair, and they have 4 legs and 4 arms. And so, and what the interesting thing is about Vlissians is that that's not their true body. That is a projection.
This isn't even my final form.
What?
This isn't even my final form.
And so what you have with Vlissians, you have 2 factions. You have the regular ones, the ambassadors that visit humanity, sometimes, interact with us. And usually they're kind of mysterious. They're a bit like, if you've ever watched Babylon 5, they're a bit like the Vorlons. They don't always speak in riddles, though. They're usually much more personable. But if a Vlissian deigns to speak with you, it's usually accepted that, it usually means something really good or really bad is going to happen. Because these kind of things, they give you advice or warning, people tend to listen. Now, the Seekers, however, do what they want to do. And usually that is they find tertiaries, that's children born with psionic abilities, and they will go throughout the colonies and will just, will try to take these children and bring them to where they are for their own clandestine purposes. And so they're viewed as villains. And I guess I can reveal part of the thing that I had drawn was something along the lines of giving a speech about we're not the villains that you think we are. But that's about as far as I want to go on that, because the way you can tell a Seeker from any other Vlissians have a face. They show their face. But Seekers have a specialized shield they put in front of their faces that always obscures what they look like. So there you go. The only Vlissians are also extremely powerful psionics, so no one has ever believed that they could hurt or even kill a Vlissian. The only one who ever has is Kumiko Frostbite Zero, who you will be seeing in book number 3. She's she does a lot of odd jobs. She's worn a lot of hats, but she's extremely smart. She knows it. And so it gives her a tendency to kind of look down on the rest of the world sometimes. So it makes her a bit of a jerk sometimes, but even if she really likes you, she's still kind of standoffish. The only people who she really shows a lot of humanity to is children and cats.
Yes.
Cats. As a matter of fact,
don't forget we have covered Frosty in depth previously. Don't know if Finn remembers, but if he does, then brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm just saying they've covering old ground.
It never hurts to give another reminder, because
I don't know how long you take with your reminders, so I'm just like,
yeah. She has a tendency to give that, and this is one way you know if she really likes you is if she leaves a cat for you. And it will be a cat, and she will leave instructions for you to name him that his name is Mr. Pickles. Every cat,
male, female, it doesn't matter. Its name is Mr. Pickles. You will call it Mr. Pickles, and you will look after it. And if you don't, she will know.
That reminds me. The only other time I've ever heard of a cat named Pickles is this old children's book called The Fire Cat. Is that where you got that from?
No.
Okay.
I just randomly decided it was called Mr. Pickles.
Oh, okay. Because there's a book here in the States. There used to be a mail thing that you could send off and get books in the mail for your children, and you get one I think one a month. and one or two a month, I think, and they were called the I Can Read book series. I used to have a whole bunch of them. And
I've heard of them.
Yeah, and one of the books was a book called The Fire Cat, and it was about a cat named Pickles. So,
see, the only Fire Cat I know is from Teaser and the Fire Cat. It's the Cat Stevens album, and they both feature in the video to Moonshadow.
Okay. No, this was just a children's book about a spotted cat, a spotted yellow cat named Pickles, who liked to chase other cats, but it was taken in by a lady named Mrs. Goodkind, but didn't like to stay indoors, and then ended up somehow becoming the mascot for a local firehouse. So who didn't have a Dalmatian? So there you go. Warrior Cats is a massive rabbit hole, but that's not what you're talking about. No, it's not what we're talking about. I've heard of those books, to be honest, but I've never read them. That's just, that in the early 2000s, I think there was a big swell of books about talking animals, and I mean just not furries, but talking animals. And I mean that's always been sort of a thing in literature, but yeah, there was a lot of. What's up?
Bloody windy outside. I've only got my window open, a crack, and my curtains going.
Yeah. Windy. It's windy out here too. But I know we were supposed to be getting rain because they got a cool front coming through. Cool is a relative term during this time of the year.
Did you send me a playlist, Finn? I do apologise, I don't remember.
Wait, what?
You said, I assume you didn't listen to the playlist I sent you. I honestly don't remember seeing it. You may well have done. That doesn't mean you didn't. It just means I don't remember. I'm like that. Probably. I must look at that, and then what will happen is I'll forget. And then I'll look at it and go, I must look at that, and then I will instantly forget. It's a bit like the silence in Doctor Who, that the minute you look away from them, you forget them. That's me and my messages often.
I think they're trying to explain that, like, if you walk in a room and you forget the reason why you walked in the room, that's the silence.
Yeah, and no, I'm terrible for it because people often be like, I sent you that message. I said, oh no, you probably did. They're like, so did you look at it? Oh yeah, I looked at it. So did you? I don't even remember what you sent me. What did you send me again? Go and look.
Don't tell them you looked at it when you didn't, because then they're gonna start asking questions.
Well, no, it's because like I did look at it, but you're assuming that I even remember what was in it.
Well,
the trouble of a lot of it as well is the time difference. Is you might message me late at night when I've just finished being awake, and then of course I haven't seen what you've sent me, or I've registered that you sent me something, but then I've gone to sleep. Yeah, I think you did send me it. I mean, I know it's probably there, but yeah.
Now, was this a playlist of just songs to listen to, or stuff that you thought?
Yeah, because you know when we were talking about power metal last time out. Yes, you sent me the link to it.
Okay,
yeah.
power metal.
It's there. There's the evidence. Yeah, and then you sent me good evening on the 29th at like 5 in the morning, and I'd already gone by then. But literally by gone, I mean I've fallen asleep and probably dropped my phone on my face. So that's usually how I know it's time I should go to sleep, because I'm go to sleep.
Ouch.
Well, yeah, because you fall asleep with your phone in your hand and it lands on your face.
The way I hold my phone, I'm in my bed, is
kind of apologize about anything. It's just a time difference, you know.
I don't drop it on my face. I just falls out my hand and onto the bed, or sometimes it'll bounce off.
Usually, because what it is, my hand goes bang. Yeah.
But so anyway, as I was just saying about the whole thing with the cats thing, it was like I just remember that there was a rash of books that featured talking animals, not furries, but talking animals, and it passed me by because it was clearly aimed at a much younger audience, and so
before.
Huh?
It's never stopped you before.
You always do that. I should be used to it by now. So yeah, So yeah, I was just saying is that's kind of a thing that kind of passed me by. So that's unfortunately not one of the inspirations for Wild Space Saga. For me, the like any furry aspects of it, it has its roots in Tenchi Muyo with that race called the Wow. They look like sort of a cross between tigers and dogs because they had like a dog-like face but had tiger stripes. And I thought the race looked pretty cool. And one of these days, I ought to do a thing to show you some of my show you guys some of my earliest drawings of Wild Space Saga characters. So you'll see that Zerx has changed very little, but there's a lot of other stuff that I just kind of was just going wild with.
though, frankly, my recent renders of him in photorealistic style have really made him nice and rugged looking, as opposed to like he stole Goku's wig.
Well, I mean that's always I didn't use Goku when I drew his hair. I definitely was trying to give him anime hair.
Oh yeah, no, that part is obvious.
Yeah, but
that is pure anime hair.
Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah, he like Cloud. His hair defies all gravity. I think I was kind of going for a look that was a little bit similar to Cloud, but not like. But it didn't look like I was completely stealing stuff. And of course, Cloud's hair is blonde, and so I wanted to make his hair black. So fortunately, it also makes his hair very easy to draw if you know how to do it. So that reminds me of I don't know if any of you out there have ever seen Excel Saga, and it is like one of the most utterly balls out insane anime you will ever watch. And there's a character in there who's a self-insert for the creator of the anime, Shinichi Watanabe, named Nabeshin, and he has this glorious afro. and actually, the real Nabeshin does have that afro. At least he did a long time ago. I don't know if he still does wear it or not, but yeah, he looks like the dude. And they have a scene at the end of one of the episodes where he's just relaxing on the beach. You never see his face because that episode was supposed to feature female characters only. But you see the back of his head, him sitting there relaxing on vacation at the beach, singing this goofy song about how sexy his afro is. You can actually find it on YouTube, but it's just so funny. And I'm just kind of like, I can totally see Zerx singing a song about his hair. Oh man,
I'll get to work on that for you.
You don't have to do that.
I may not have to, but hey, I'm the Suno King now, so why not?
If you're going to do that, go look at the Nabeshin song before you do that, because it needs to be goofy.
Would that be a J-Fro?
No, give me a moment. I can actually pull it up.
No. Look at Finn's comment. That's why I'm asking. Would that be a J-Fro?
A J-Fro? No, I never heard of that.
Japanese man with an afro would be a sight. Look at the comments.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that. I'm just...
because normally they talk about a white man with a fro. They call it a Y-fro. So would it be a J-fro?
So, no, I knew a white guy with an afro. He was my art teacher in high school.
And then conversely, if you go to a Korean, would that be a K-fro?
Everybody loved this guy, especially the black students, because he was like, there's no white dude with an afro before. he was one of the coolest teachers. His name was Mr. Zekin.
To be fair, one of my friends, he's got blonde hair and it's really tightly curled. And if he let it grow, he would probably end up with he would have one of those. Funny enough, he is Jewish. But he's very blonde, so maybe it would be yeah.
You see, I've heard of the Jufro thing. The only character I'd ever seen with that was like Mort from Family Guy, and oh yeah, there's the other person with a white guy with an afro, and of course that was Bob Ross. And I'm wondering if Mr. Zekin was just trying to copy the Bob Ross look.
But it's one of those things where some people just have really tight curls. It's just more common in black people than it is in white people, really.
We've gone talking from from anime
Yeah.
hair to white guys with afros.
Yes, we are talking about hairstyles of the world and how throws can work out between different peoples. Yeah. I mean, I've got a hell of a wave in this. If I let this grow too much, I just end up with.
Now, if I let my hair grow out, I can grow a fro. I actually have baby pictures of me where I actually do have one, but because my hair isn't like most other black folks' hair, my family is Creole, so there is a slight difference in how our hair grows than most other black folks.
It grows inwards. That's why his brain gets fuzzed up sometimes.
Must not kill.
You got to get it first.
Must not board plane. Get money to get ticket, board plane, find where he lives and kill.
Hey, I think it's only fair. I mean, I've been your way. It was what 13 years ago now, but yeah, I have been that way. I mean, you know, it's only fair you come this way. There's not much here for you to see, but yeah, at least you had things for me to see. You know,
and lots of things to eat.
yes, with cayenne pepper and everything.
Yeah, no, if you ever come back down here, where you'll probably be hanging out with me in Lake Charles, and we have like a lot of different foods, and then we're not that far away from other places where I could bring you to have really good food. So, and it'll probably be around Sci-fi. And speaking of which, I wanted to get I tried to get an Artist Alley table there because I could have sold the books and whatnot. For some reason, they never got back in touch with me. I don't know if I was too late or what. They were saying they were supposed to be sending an email to the ones who applied, and they never sent me one. I need to get in touch with the heads of the con. I was like, guys, if you're gonna be that way, then why would I?
Yeah, if you missed the cutoff or something, it'd be nice to know. To be fair, Finn, I used to be really actually quite tolerant to it. It's only recently things have changed. So now I don't mind spicy stuff. It's just usually an hour later it's saying, you need the loo, son. You know, so I tend to have to be careful with it these days.
So that Tony Sacheries I sent you has been doing interesting things to your digestive system.
Which one? The tiger sauce?
No, Tony Sacheries. That's the big cylinder with the spice.
Oh, I haven't had cause to use that much recently. I did put it on something the other day. It's just trying to remember I've got it because where we keep it, it's like, yeah.
Down here, we put that stuff on everything. So,
I mean, funny enough, the tiger sauce is still good, even though it's 6 months out of date.
Oh, dude, tiger sauce, it's shelf stable. That stuff will last for years.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's why I wasn't worried about it.
Nah, that's it.
I mean,
it's hot sauce.
I mean, the nuts didn't last long.
Yeah, I mean, they're the pecans. Oh yeah, those.
I'm not normally keen on pecans, but he sent me these
candied
seasoned ones. Yeah, Cajun ones and the other ones, the sweet heat ones.
Can't even get those pecans anymore. I used to get them at a gas station right near where I worked, and then they don't have them there anymore.
Like, I even made sure I sifted out the powder left in the bottom so I could just enjoy the flavour of that one more time before the bag was completely empty. So I don't normally eat pecans, so you found a way that I'll eat pecans.
Okay, well, I mean, down here they grow like the pecan trees. We have them all over the place. My dad has 2 of them in the yard, and every year, they'll not every year. They grow pecans like every like 2 years, I think it is, and the only problem is that we have a really bad problem with squirrels, and so last year, like, during the fall, when the pecans were starting to drop, my dad had to go and set up squirrel traps all over the pecan trees. We caught so many squirrels and a family of possums. So we had to go and relocate those things. I mean, they have so many of them out there. My parents live outside the city, and so it's kind of like countryside, and so they have all kinds of wild animals, but they especially have a bunch of squirrels. There used to not be quite so many in that area, and I think it's because people started moving out there. Squirrels kind of started coming along with them, and so there are tons of them. And because of that, there are a lot more hawks and owls out there. Thank God they do hunt them, but they can't keep their numbers down.
With an owl. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad has a lot of fruit trees, and so before we can go picking the fruits, the squirrels would get to them. One year we used to have a plum tree, and I love plums, and especially the plum trees down here, they'll grow, and you can do it right, and those plum trees will grow so many plums, and those things would be best, sweetest plums we've ever eaten. There were a ton of them, and we picked that thing clean. My dad made plum jam and plum wine, and then every year after that, where the plums started growing because the squirrel problem got so bad, squirrels and birds got to the plums before we could. So, yeah. Oh yeah, possums only marsupial. Yeah. Well, come down to Louisiana. You'll have more possums than you know what to do with. You will see them. Wandering around the city at night. That and raccoons. So raccoons are a little bit less prevalent. Possums kind of outnumber them, I think, a little bit. The only thing is, like, possums, they just kind of freeze or play dead. Raccoon will fight you. Oh my God. Yeah, they are Black Air Force energy and a cute little mask. So anyway, yeah, we're bothering about animals. Hey, but speaking of animals, to bring this into something that's a bit more under subject, we actually do, and I probably am overdue for drawing a new one. We have a series of drawings at our DeviantArt, and for those who don't know, our DeviantArt is where we have a lot of the concept art that gives us ideas for what we want to work on in the books. We have a lot of different drawings of different people, places, and things in Wild Space Saga, and if you want to know, the link is down in the doobly-doo. We have a series of pictures of different animals that you can find in that universe. And I think the only reason why I haven't drawn more is because for some reason, when it comes to animal designs, I'm not as creative as I'd like to be. And so when I get hit with a good idea for something, I tend to jot it down and really, really refine it. And so the ones that you see the few animal drawings that I have for different species that you find in Wild Space Saga tend to be really creative. And as of late, they've been getting a lot of views. And I do mean a lot. I had one that was just basically a rock monster with tentacles that you find in
little tip for you, B. Don't forget you can present things on here. And immediately on Wild Space Saga, you have the folder flora and fauna. It's taken me 2 seconds. I've brought it up, and you could show people what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, give me a second. I can pull that up right quick.
No, not to have not having a go. Just saying, we can actually show it, and it, instead of describing it all to people and telling them to go there, we can actually bring it to them.
Yeah, but this won't take long. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thinking about our lovely loyal viewer.
All right, so let me go ahead and dang it.
Hey, someone else is here. Lovely.
All right. Welcome to Wild Space Saga, or Wild Space Wildcast, rather. So I'm glad to see we got a new person up in here. Where'd you hear about it? It's just out of curiosity, oh, Ryan. I didn't read the name at first. My bad. Okay, you knew about it for a long time. Okay, so you got hold of us through Facebook. That's no problem, man. Okay, so Ryan is somebody who I used to work with or my job, and we kept in touch ever since he left. So
to be fair, Ryan, I'm more bothered when he's late. Hang on with the screen. That's better. Now the way it's laid out, I've got pointed the right way. I'm more bothered when he's late than
I was only viewing. A tiny bit, about a minute.
Yeah, but you're the one that has the StreamYard host, not me. So it needs to be you here on time.
I wonder if there's a way to share host rights so that won't happen again.
Well, actually, there is. I could just set it up on StreamYard and then send you the email, but I'm too lazy for that.
Yeah, we were just talking about because today I woke up and it was like an hour. It was an hour before it got to get started. I decided to go ahead and just sleep for about 30 more minutes. And I should never trust my own sleep cycles. Woke up and then realized it was 1:56, and that is the fastest I ever got dressed and got my behind here.
The speed he read out the intro didn't even have a song ready. It was absolutely disgusting. I couldn't believe it. The unprofessionalism.
He could believe it. So, but anyway, yeah. So thanks for joining us, man. So what I was about to do is I'm going to post up. Let me see if I can. How did this work?
So click the present option.
Okay.
And then you can select the window you want to show. So then you don't show off all your whole desktop and everything like that. You can actually show specifically what you want to show.
Okay, well, hang on. I'm going to have to pull this out of the... All right. Yeah. Oh, hang on.
So it's teaching Brandon how to use all the features live. That's actually what we do.
All right, slides, PDFs, extra camera.
Never mind all our material or anything like that. We just teach Brandon how to use technology for this hour.
Is it share screen? Oh, no, that's share screen with other members. Wait.
Yes, but you'll get the option to what screen you want to share, like what window and whatnot. Do you remember when I showed you before?
Right, hang on just a sec.
Do you want me to do it?
Okay, there we are. All right, do y'all see that?
No,
not yet. Hang on. Well, that's weird. Well, it says sharing this to StreamYard. What is going on? Oh, here it is. Okay.
Nearly.
Okay, so as you can see, that is one of the creatures that we have for Wild Space Saga. So what I was talking about was that I do draw animals that exist in Wild Space Saga, but we often I don't do it that often because for some reason I don't have as much of an imagination when it comes to the animals, or if I do draw one that I might like, sometimes it comes out looking like a Pokemon. And so, Pokemon's kind of destroyed the brains of a lot of creatives when it comes to animal designs. I need to start watching the Dark Crystal a little bit more. Those are some really creative designs. But anyway, the ones that as of late, the ones that I've put in for Wild Space Saga tend to be really, really creative, and they've attracted a lot of viewers. And this one particular one is that I was just mentioning. I said it looks like a rock monster with tentacles, and it's called a Delver. And you don't want to end up running into one of these things in caves because you pass too close to it, and if it's big enough, it decides that you are a meal, and those teeth in that maw will make short work of whatever appendages you have, if not your whole body. So there you go. And they are a nuisance species on many different worlds, because they have a tendency to have their spores attached to vehicles, especially mining equipment and whatnot. And so, they're very much.
And some corporations are just far too cheap to follow proper decontamination protocol.
Yeah, that too. If you ever, well, of course, who hasn't watched Star Wars? Yeah, they're a bit like Minox in Star Wars. Minox you'll find on every inhabited planet because they can live pretty much everywhere. So, Ryan, you're thinking of a Sarlacc, and it does look a little bit like a Sarlacc, but I did not get that idea from Sarlacc. Sarlacc,
it's not that big either.
Yeah, Sarlacc just kind of stay where they are and just have their mouths open in a pit. Whereas this thing actually can kind of pop up like it's almost sort of like a worm, but it's sessile. It doesn't travel all over the place. So, but it's a bit more.
I would say it is like a giant barnacle.
Oh, yeah, that too. It is a bit like a barnacle. You're right.
Yeah, barnacle or limpets where they open up and all the little.
Yeah, but yeah, I did not. I swear I did not get that idea from a Sarlacc. This is something that, as a matter of fact, I think what.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan was being serious anyway. B.
Oh, well, hey, I'm just saying. A lot of people on the internet, even if they're just joking, will say, hey, that's plagiarism. I'm like, no,
don't worry, Ryan. Some of us pick up on the humor in the text.
I'm sorry. I'm like my mom. Sometimes some humorous things get lost on me.
That's why I'm here.
Okay.
Well, then Instead of completely just trying to justify it, it's like it's quite obvious what he was joking about.
It may eat you. If it's Japanese, it may do other things.
A bit like the opening to Spectre, when there's the bit where the tentacles wrap around the person. I thought, oh no, I've seen too much Japanese content to know where this is going.
Yeah, I forget where that line is from, but yeah. Good God. I mean, if it's Japanese, it'll do other things. Yikes. Oh man. No, I remember now. I think I was thinking of a particular creature when I did draw it, and that was Thresher Maw from Mass Effect. That big ass thing you find on Tuchanka. So yeah.
I haven't got that far on it, so
you'll know when you get there. But yeah, those things are. Yeah, Dream of a Fisherman. Yeah, we all know that Japanese painting. Well, many people know about it. That's where you get that particular thing from. And it was big, yeah, because the Japanese they were so prudish that they didn't allow you to draw certain things, so they had to substitute. Oh Lord. But anyway, yeah. So, but that's just one of the animals that we have, for Wild Space Saga, and all those drawings got like a lot of views. And
there's a whole 16 he could have shown you, but he only showed you one and then turned it off.
Hardy har har har.
What do you mean hardy har? I'm just saying, you could have shown all the lot off.
Oh, I have others that I can show. It's just I didn't want to harp on every subject, about and then suddenly just start talking, spend the next 29 minutes talking about nothing but animals you find in Wild Space Saga. I mean, I could do a show about that, but
I'm sure the guys would tell us in the comments if they were bored. I mean, that's why I keep an eye on the comments. Then you guys, if you want to move on to something else, you can tell us, or if you want us to talk about something in particular, by all means say so. We can cover anything really.
Yep.
As well as completely irrelevant stuff that we talk about most of the time. We'll get sidetracked and just talk about life.
But it's kind of really interesting how much of our lives do intersect with Wild Space Saga, because a lot of the things that are in Wild Space Saga are often connected to things conversations we had, things that have happened to us, that kind of stuff. So,
True.
I mean, I even put phrases sometimes in the books that remind me of something that I've talked about with my friends or with Terry. Definitely write what you know. Absolutely, for any author out there, a lot of that is a good advice. Now, sometimes you can't, because like when you're writing science fiction and fantasy, it's very much a thing that you're gonna step out of things that unless you of course you can still incorporate it, experiences that you had, conversations you had, people you talked to. A lot of people will base characters off of people they know, that kind of stuff. Some of the turns of phrase that I put in Wild Space Saga are based on conversations I had with other people. One in particular that you're going to see in book 3 is a nod to a conversation I had with my cousin. And he's the one who said it. And he was talking about, and this is when I was about to become a teacher, which I'm not anymore for good reason. And he said, the teaching is kind of like, is all the same. You have good students, you got not so good students, and then you have Sean. And that stuck with me. And so I have a conversation in book 3. And if you buy book 3, you'll see it. It's a conversation between Zerx and Frosty. And Zerx talks about someone that Frosty knows, and he puts that in. He's like, you have students, you have good students, you have not so good students. You always have. Then you have Johnny, and then she was like, yeah, this person was a Johnny. So that was direct from that conversation I had with my cousin. And I don't think I told him about that. I'm gonna have to do that. He might actually buy the book. But yeah,
as you can tell, Brandon really wants you to buy the book. Obviously, I do too. It's just the fact that I'm saying. He's a better salesman than I am.
I don't know. If I was a better salesman, I think our books would be selling better currently. But we're still working on that.
Well, yeah. I mean, the social media side of things and the content creation is relatively new to us. That's why you're getting a lot of sort of my little songs and some the generated artwork and stuff, is because I can at least provide something. I've had these ideas in my head for years, and then along comes a generative AI that lets me make music. It's like, yay! I can finally realize the ideas in my head.
Yeah, but as for me, I have a fun little short comic I'm going to be doing an animation of. If you want to see it right now, it is on our Wild Space Saga DeviantArt page.
I would say, Finn, really do get the extended ones. They are far, far superior to what we wrote before.
Oh, yeah, the songs you're talking about?
No. Finn said he bought the original versions on Audible.
Oh, yeah.
I would seriously say, with the extended ones available, what we added lifted it so far beyond even my expectations. Yeah. And I'm the harsh one between the pair of us.
Especially book one. Book one, we added a lot. And it really did
lifted it
more
massively.
Robust. It gave more personality and more background to the characters. It managed to bring in our second crew and make them much more prevalent, which is what
prominent.
we need.
Prominent.
Excuse me, prominent.
All the P's.
What?
All the P's tonight. Prevalent. Permanent. Prominent.
Yeah, so it made them much more prominent than they were in the beginning, and something that we needed to have from the get-go, And like I said, I remember the moment that I suggested that, because we were kind of breaking our brains open, like, how are we going to improve this? And I was driving my car back home, and it just hit me, B-plot, and that's where I told you. So, and we had plenty of stuff to work with the Shadow Star crew, and because we kind of, in the beginning, the first original book, we just dropped them in there kind of like nearer to the middle end. And
because they come to assist Zerts and crew. So you kind of got introduced to them late on. But then that's when the Reckless crew was the primary and they were very much going to be the main thing. But then it felt the Shadow Star crew sort of naturally evolved into sort of an almost equal pairing.
Yep, absolutely. The by the way, speaking of Shadow Star crew, and this is something we can discuss in a bit more robust manner. The other drawing that I sent you, the one with Kyron and Paige, did you like that conversation?
Well, it's your usual wordy conversation, but it works.
It wasn't that wordy. Because I always ask you that because I want to make sure that what your characters say,
it's fine, and yeah, whatever. I thought I answered you. I don't know. Okay. I can't remember. I've been asleep.
That's okay. So have I.
Yeah, but I was asleep last night, not this afternoon.
I've been asleep and I've been late. So yes, that is the humor equivalent. That is the humor equivalent of lighting yourself on fire. So, speaking of lighting yourself on fire, there was something I wanted to tell you about, and this is only maybe tangentially related because we both are a couple of nerds, and this involved kind of nerdy stuff. There was a cartoon that came on down here in the States. It was a show called Adult Swim. That featured the cartoon.
I've heard of it. I've seen some bits of it.
This cartoon was originally intended to be the pilot for a series, but it didn't quite make it. It was called Welcome to Eltingville, and it was about these like four boys who were like part of a club for nerds, comic book fans, sci-fi, horror, all that good stuff. But these boys were the kind of nerds that basically defined their entire personality by what they liked and how they liked it.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where if you didn't view the fandom in the same way they did, that you weren't a true fan. And because of this, they could never get along and were always fighting. And it wasn't just fighting. It was like, going at it like two dogs on a pork chop fighting, and they got in some bitter fights, and these the whole throughout the entire episode, that entire pilot episode, it was just like that. These guys couldn't get out of the way of themselves, and constantly were bickering over stupid stuff, culminating in them going to their local comic book shop run by this sleazy jerkwad of a guy who had gotten this really like mint condition thing of Boba Fett. It was like one of those larger figurines that they had back in the 90s, and and they wanted it so bad, but neither one of them, two of the boys had wanted it so bad, and they decided to kind of go for like a trivia off, where they basically asked really obscure questions to each of them about to see if they couldn't answer, and they were just going at it for almost an hour, and then one of them finally messed up when they asked a question about who goes beady beady beady, and one of their members did it. He mentioned his name. It was like, no, I mean Tweaky, and then from Buck Rogers, and he lost.
We used to work with a guy who we nicknamed that.
What?
And guy we nicknamed Tweaky. Well, when I first started at this job, they said, and I was waiting in the office, for the induction and stuff like that. And the two like older workmen come in. They said, "Have you met Tweaky?" Yeah, I said, "Tweaky." They said, "Yeah, the boss." No, not yet. I said, "We call him Tweaky." He says, "You'll find out when he walked in. He has his haircut."
Oh God!
All I could think when I saw it was "biddy biddy biddy biddy," and I said, "Just don't say it." They said he doesn't like it, and then
I just thought that he. Yeah, I just thought that he tended to begin his sentences with "beady beady beady,"
No, but I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "I say yes, I'm the new guy." Biddy 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 biddy. That's all that's going through my head is biddy 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 biddy. Looking at this guy. Oh God.
So anyway, what happened was they got into a fight. They couldn't. Neither one of them had money. They tried to go steal money to go and buy the Boba Fett thing, and then they ended up just getting into this fist fight in the comic book thing, wrecking everything, and then finally got the thing torn. The head got torn off, and so the other guy who had only had the head, just out of spite, refused to sell it to him. And so I was just looking at that, and I was like. I'm so glad that we never encountered these kinds of nerds. And the guy who created it, and yeah, it's called the Eltingville Club. The show was called Welcome to Eltingville. It was based off a comic book series called the Eltingville Club, which I had only seen like kind of a video documentary on the other day, and I never knew it was about this comic book series. And now I want to read this comic book series because it's just it's something that it just kind of popped up, and I did not realize there was such depth to it because the guy who created it had created it because he had people who were trying to act that way with him, lording over him about their own fandoms and everything like that, gatekeeping and I know that in the comics, in the end of the day, only one of them really truly grew up. Well, all of them kind of went on to better things for their own selfish reasons, or even just by pure accident, and they were in somewhat better places. But one of them just refused to grow up to the point where he was still doing the same thing, cheating and stealing his way through getting what he wanted because of his fandoms. So, I just what we had said just a moment ago just kind of had my brain kind of go on that little trail. I hope, it would be kind of funny if somebody did that with Wild Space Saga. I have no idea who would get that obsessive, but
the Coven.
Huh?
Well, you've seen the interactions. You guys, obviously, book 4 is yet to be fully completed, but there is a faction called the Coven, and you've probably seen it covered with some of our stuff. We talk about them, the tech tanks, who, because they have unfettered access to the interstellar web, all have quirky accents, personalities, and all sorts. And they argue over trivia once they become things like that.
I see. Oh yeah, yeah.
Namely, Lulu, though, being the archivist, would be the one who actually has the in-depth knowledge about all of it. So sits there, waits and argues, and then in her wonderful Welsh accent, they'll put them all correct, put them all right.
Well, they They did kind of have they did kind of have a pedantic moment when it came to Hellraiser. But that one was started by Pip, so
yeah, well, that's in book 4. You'll enjoy that.
Yeah. It's what we're talking about here. The Hellraiser things that there are some androids. There are androids in Wild Space Saga. Most of them, unfortunately, are a little cuckoo, and some of the worst of the lot like to mod themselves.
They're literally called modders. Yeah.
Yeah. And they tend to look like Cenobites in the end because they're just being creative with their flesh. Some actually will take the flesh of others and put it on them, working on something that involves an android that likes to do that.
The whole thing trying to describe them at one point is that it's all pretty grim, and so people's like, what, they're like wannabe Cenobites, and some of them they've got the blank stares, and then you get another one going, yeah, I've got the actual book over there, so I get what you're talking about, but they've got no idea, and then they're all arguing and say this other one who she runs with a Welsh accent, then is from an archivist hub, is like, yeah, I can pull it all up and solve this argument immediately if you'd like. I know you'll forget I'm here because I'm quiet, but you know what? I'm sick of hearing you. So let's settle this.
She's the quiet kid in the classroom, but not in the bad way.
No, that would be Izumi.
Well, yeah. I mean, we know about Izumi, but yeah. So we have all those interesting nods, and of course, yeah, I love the thing about them being like that group of nerds that tends to kind of go after each other a little bit. I mean, I've been part of that kind of thing, earlier on in life. I was part of an anime club that was run by somebody who was really was one of those kinds of nerds that did like to dominate the conversation about what he liked. And he was also very insecure. And at one point in time, they tried to get me kicked out. I have no idea why. I mean, maybe I guess I have a personality. Sometimes I can rub some people the wrong way. But
no, not at all, B. Not at all.
Not in the way that you're thinking, though. These guys were just
rubbing people up the wrong way.
The guy who ran the anime club was kind of a narcissist.
I know the kind.
But the thing about narcissists is they often get the wrong idea about me. And because I'm usually such a jolly guy and really nice guy, they at first peg me as a pushover, and they'll try to do their manipulation crap on me, and it won't work, and it gets shocked about it not working, and then it makes them angry, and then they try to ruin you or something like that. So
I had a group of people like that once in one of the Judge Dredd costume groups I was in, because I used to, I did my wonderful mashup that some people have seen of the Star Trek and stuff like that. But I did one with actually a Deathstroke and Dredd crossover, because I wanted to do one half blank helmet and the other half proper Dredd lid.
Yeah, I like that.
And the group we were in was pretty much a costume group. They were all supportive. Some of them, they're like, whilst it's not my thing, I appreciate the guy's effort. These other ones, they were called the Britsit group, because in 2000 AD, Britsit is the mega city for the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never known anyone who, that's not film accurate, or this, and they absolutely went after me over it. To the point I literally just said, I do what I like to do. It's not my problem. In fact, I turned around and said, if this is what people are like in that group, I'm glad I'm not a member of it. They went absolutely wild. They were like, you've just insulted over 1,000 people. No. And in fact, a lot of my friends who were part of that group then messaged me saying, we're part of that group and we're not insulted. Yeah. And the worst thing was, I just directed them to a quote from Carl Urban. Because they filmed between the UK and South Africa, they also had different teams working on the costumes. So the stitching was different styles depending on who had stitched them. their costumes are obviously built to last a scene a lot of the time and then needed repair. And he says, you guys build your costumes to be worn constantly at conventions, whole weekends for hours and hours at a time. They're better quality than what we had. And, you know, when you've got two teams molding different parts, they're different. He said, film accurate doesn't exist. Our costumes aren't the same from shot to shot, you know, depending on what we were doing. He said, so there is no such thing as movie accurate. So, yeah, that's what I mean. Well, just the way you said about the anime group, we had people like that.
Yeah. We see hot take here. It's a degree that he's talking about gatekeeping. It's a degree that's not only acceptable, welcome, what you experience is not. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there is a good kind of gatekeeping.
Well, like, yeah, as I said. The people who are purists, they're there because they enjoy the dread. They're not keen on the mashups, but instead what they appreciate is your hard work on your costume. Just because it's not their thing or their taste, they're not there to say you should or shouldn't do that. They're just, you know, well, you've done some good work there. Not my thing, but I appreciate your effort.
Yeah, the good kind of gatekeeping I'm thinking of is like, okay, there was a point in time where you had a lot of people who really weren't fans trying to co-opt Warhammer 40K and whine about why are there no female Astartes, and they were trying to go to Games Workshop to try to strong arm them into making female Astartes, you know, especially when that would have gone against every last thing about the lore and canon. And so
the lore reason isn't actually a bad reason. It's literally to do with that male genetics has a significantly lower rejection rate than female genetics.
Yeah, that was the reason why. But these people were acting as if people were trying to co-opt, or basically trying to say that, well, there's no factions that are women, and it was but this is
a battle. Yeah,
tip their hand on this because they clearly didn't know about the Adeptus Sororitas, you know.
And Sororitas have weaponized faith. You know, it's
like when I learned about what the Sororitas can do, I'm like, well, what's wrong with them? They're freaking awesome.
The sheer power of belief.
Yeah.
The sheer power of faith leads them to do things that Space Marines can do.
Yeah.
And that's the point, though. That's the point that it's so powerful, it literally physically manifests.
I thought the Sororitas were so cool that we actually created a character for Wild Space Saga that was inspired by them. She isn't a tertiary, but she is a fighting nun. So she's actually one of the Pirate King's personal guards. So there you go. All right. Well, looking at the time, guys.
Well, the thing is, Pete, you've done a lot of talking. I want to update people on some of my little projects before we go.
Oh yeah, go on ahead.
Because guys, I'm trying to work on that lore diving with Pip stuff. You may have seen that I've done a little intro that I put. I want a better video editor. I just can't afford one currently. So you've got my wonderfully little chopped together version for now, so you get an idea of what might come. The hard part is obviously we definitely can't simulate Pip's voice. So it may be a case of at the moment that she's going to be my glamorous assistant while we go over some background stuff, and I'll have stills of her going, ha until we can actually do something where it's going to be a generated voice of her sounding convincing, and she'll be doing an in-universe way of giving you guys the background on various things in the wild space. The other thing is, I just really want an opinion. I know there's only a couple of years here. Of my little music projects that I shared, do you like them?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do, but I just wonder about Finn and Ryan, if they have an opinion on them, and really just to help me with the direction so that I'm providing decent content for people, really. Sweet. Because my next big project is the White Okira project, which is a group coming in book 4. They're all ex-ground tanks who are enforcers for the Yakuza. They've taken on names of famous kaiju, hence why this song is named after Kumonga. So what that one will be feature 5 or 6 songs, and what I'll do is a little release, hopefully each day, next week. So then that'll be a little playlist, and I will appreciate any feedback you have on them.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, what I'll probably do is, if you don't mind me doing it, post the songs on X, and then maybe I can probably do a poll to see, if anybody liked them or whatnot. And
I'm happy for that. I just want to let me get them out on YouTube first, so then they're all in the playlist and everything. I don't mind that. It's just that way I can premiere them, as it were.
Okay, well, I'll wait for you to have them all out on X, and then I'll do some posts about it on.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
On YouTube, and then I'll put some posts on X about it, and try to do a poll, see if they like it. Because that might
I'm glad I know that even if it's just Finn, somebody actually is quite liking them.
All right, here, Wild Space. Well, not quite Eurovision, but it is his talent for putting together AI songs is pretty cool. So
I do write the words to them. That's one thing I will say. Whilst I have helped structuring them and then telling it what I want, I do come up with the words. So I will say that the words are not AI.
I have a talent for putting together AI pictures. He does more photorealistic. Mine look more like paintings. But I have.
And then I'll get B to animate them.
Yeah, and I also have a pretty good talent for animating them in Grok, finding ways to make Grok listen to me. And if it won't, I just go to Google Gemini and try it. I just need to
give us better resolution, so then I can actually do a nice big screen animation.
Yeah, it's only probably Google Gemini.
At the moment, it's only it basically it's doing it for mobile screens, but I need it for people's monitors.
Yeah, and when I start getting a little bit more confident, I might do like some short animations involving things in Wild Space Saga. I'll see what I can do about that. Also, best winter will always be Hard Rock Hallelujah. By the way, yeah, that was a
oh yeah, Eurovision.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much all the time we have, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who here, those of you who are going to join us, later on, looking at our stuff, hey, we love to see you join us live. Come on down. It's going to be now from here on out every Saturday at 3 p.m. whether I got to work that day or not. And we're going to be consistently getting things across the board, so all y'all can check out our stuff. And like I said, we have links to our social medias down at the doobly-doo and to our books. We would really hope that you would come check them out. Now, we do remember to remind you that for the books. The new versions of the books are all available. The first two books are all available in what you call it? Oh, good grief!
Stop rushing. Take a breath and just provide the.
Yeah, they're available in ebook file. They're not available yet in hardcover or paperback, but we will let you know when that is. And then, of course, our third book is coming out this May. We will have something special for that. So stay tuned to us. And and so go ahead, comment, rate, subscribe. As always, keep it civil. And we'd like to thank you once again for joining us for our Wild Space Saga Wildcast. We'll see you next Saturday, and we'll hope.
Any comments on any of the stuff we put, please pop something, because I appreciate the feedback and I know what direction to take things in for our viewer.
Yep.
And
But yeah, thanks. We both love feedback. And so, until next time, this is Brandon Hill and Terrence Pegasus speaking for Wild Space Saga Wildcast. We hope that you all keep on following that Northwest Passage. Take care.
Oh, crabby.